Alright, welcome back, welcome back. We're in the video of the target individual program, over experience. Now come on now, there's no emergency. I can see one of the paramedics in the back there just standing in the ambulance. It's just another form of them doing noise campaign. Alright. Hold up, is that the number 32? Yep. LCX 3260. Right there. Anyway, bus will be here in 9 minutes. Yeah, so anyway, I was watching Dante, I forget his last name, but he was a pastor for, I think he said 2 or 3 decades. And he left the ministry, after coming to the realization that, what he's been preaching was bullshit. He said, well, I was preaching was bullshit, because he said, in my ministry, I started to do radical things like bringing in sociology and psychology into, my pastor. And then he was like, that's when the reality start hitting me that it isn't God. It's life circumstances that people go through. There's many different factors, all right, that facilitates, what we go through on a daily basis, right? When tragedy strikes, it's part of life, right? Whether it be intentional or unintentional, right? So, he was, so I subscribe to his channel. Like I said, I'm always going to subscribe to people who I see speaking the truth, right? Even though some of them do have religious beliefs, but they don't bring their religion into the topic, particularly when it comes to dealing with, what we go through as black people in this country, right? And they may use the word like God, you get right with God or what have you. And I kind of ignore that part, because they'll say that get right with God, but you read the Bible, right? And God's telling you to kill this people, steal their land, kill all the men and the boys, take all the women that has never laid with a man, and all the young girls, virgins, that you take them to, as yours. You know what I'm saying? You talk about get right with God. Your God ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Your God ain't right. And they'll talk about, that's the old God and new God. Really? Okay. All right. So God reached a level of consciousness that he never had before, that he become a new God. So Dante was like, people, because of their belief system and because religion dumbs you down, you tend not to think critically. And he starts exposing the churches for what they are. He's like, from the moment, it's a business. It's a business. And instead of saying to the people, you know what, donations so you can keep the light bill on or what have you, and such, and they'll tell you, well, God say to give this money and, and such, and blah, blah, blah. Is that another number 32 again? Oh, yes. LLL 4032. All right. Good night. Good night. All right, so he was very, I like the brother. Come to the realization and start to think critically. And also, start to realize that, this story is just a repeated story of other ancient myths. And that's the whole thing, That's why in religion, you can't question. You can't question your faith. They'll tell you, you don't question your faith. The reason why they say don't question your faith, because they don't want you to look for the truth. They don't want you to know the truth. All right, so they shackle your mind so that you'll never find out the truth. Because I always like, if you are sick and you're, there's sometimes you may feel sick and you may you might have some herbs in your house, what have you, that your mama used to give you when you were younger, or your grandmother, what have you. So you know to take certain things, right? But there are instances where you know that you need to go to the doctor, right? There's instances where you need to go to the doctor. You might need to get medication, right? You don't pray about it. As religious people came to be, and having faith and all that shit. No one have absolute faith. No one's faith is strong enough, right? No matter what they say, there's always going to be things that no matter how much you pray, it ain't gonna happen. A person dying from terminally ill cancer, you can pray as much as you want. That cancer ain't gonna go away, right? I can pray as much as I want. My back ain't gonna heal, right? I can pray as much as I want. My neurological injuries is not gonna heal. So I do things to try to repair it. I mean, I can't do that with my back, but with neurological injuries, I take, omega 3s, ginkgo. I take a mushroom to help me with clarity. Mushroom gummies, which has certain types of natural substance in it, right? To help me with my mood, with my clarity. And because I take those things, I no longer feel like really depressed. Even though I used to do what I still do today, right? But I used to be really in a depressive state and in a very nervous state, right? So I take things that help my nervous system, okay? I'm not gonna get on my knees and pray. And that's the trap a lot of us fall into. Because again, they have been doing scientific research on if prayer really works. And the overwhelming consensus is that it doesn't. Most people don't get what they pray for. I should say all people don't get what they pray for 100% without doing the work themselves. Understand? Huh?
This time is okay.
No, I got to transfer. That's all. Yeah. All right, thank you.